Hello students and welcome to online class of social science. I am Sachin Sinha, your principal as well as your social science teacher. And now we have decided to start online classes because you all know that we are passing through a very deadly situation of COVID-19 infection, and the government have decided to start the online classes to ensure uninterrupted study of you people. That's why we are going to start online classes. So I am going to begin your class with the civics portion, and in that very first chapter we are going to discuss, that is power sharing. In this session we will cover 50% of this chapter, and in next session the remaining 50% will be covered. As it is clear by the name of this chapter, you people know it very well that what is the importance of power sharing, especially in the scenario of a democratic nation like India. In class 9th, when we started the chapter, which was the previous part of this chapter, in that we studied that how the work distributed between legislature, executive and judiciary. In this chapter we will continue the same, and we will discuss that if power is shared in a proper manner, how it is beneficial for the countries, and if it is not done properly, which kind of problem can be faced by any democratic country as well as any type of governance which is existing in that country, especially in the scenario of two countries, that is Belgium and Sri Lanka. So children, we are going to start with these two countries, that is Belgium and Sri Lanka. Before I start about the way in which the power is shared in these two countries, let me tell you in brief about Belgium. Belgium is a very small country, just equal to our very small state Haryana, and as per the matter of distribution of population is concerned, mainly two types of ethnic groups can be seen here. The first one, that is known as Dutch community, which is also known as the community which can be represented as Flemish group, and second one is French community. Dutch community is not known as much more developed as French community. It may be because of historical backwardness or due to some other reason. French community, though they are in less percentage than the Dutch community people, but they are very much forward as per the matter of literacy is concerned, as per the matter of educational advancement is concerned. They are more advanced than the Dutch people. When we talk about the percentage of population, 59% population can be seen in terms of Dutch speaking people, and other 40% population is known in terms of French speaking people, and the remaining 1% speak German. So mainly three type of language speaking people can be seen in Belgium, that is the Dutch speaking people, the French speaking people, as well as German speaking people. One very unusual situation can be seen, that is in the capital of Belgium, that is Brussels. 80% people, those who speak French, they dominate the community of Brussels, and while 20% of other, those who are speaking Dutch. But in other part of country, Dutch speaking people are dominating the major part of community, and French speaking people comes on second position. The minority French speaking community was relatively rich and powerful, as it was mentioned earlier by me, and this made the Dutch speaking community angry, who got the benefit of economic development and education much later. Now let me tell you something about the Sri Lankan people. Like Belgium, in Sri Lanka also, it was dominated by two community. The first one is Singli community, which is covering the major part of the society, and second one is Tamil community, which can be seen in the southern part of India also, mainly in Tamil Nadu, as well as in some part of Sri Lanka also. But unlike Belgium, different kind of system was adopted by the Sri Lankan policymaker, and that is why it could be resulted in terms of clash between these two community, and finally it broke out in terms of civil war also. That we will discuss in later next coming topic of this chapter. So let me tell you in brief about Sri Lankan people. So Sri Lankan Tamils, they are the native people of Sri Lanka and which are called Sri Lankan Tamil. They are found in India also and in Sri Lanka as well. They constitute 13% of the population and are concentrated in the north and east of Sri Lanka. Most of Singla speaking people are Buddhist, while most of the Tamil are Hindus or Muslims as well. Indian Tamil, the Tamilians whose forefathers came from Sri Lanka as plantation workers during colonial rule. It was the time of Britishers when many of the Sri Lankan people migrated from Sri Lanka to India, and they started working as a worker in tea plantation area, and they constitute 5% of the population. There are about 7% Christian who are both Tamil and Singla as well. In Sri Lanka, the clash could be seen from 1956 when an act was passed to recognize Singla as the only official language, and it humiliated the Tamil community. They started resenting it, and they started several types of demonstration regarding this. And while humiliated by the Sri Lankan government, this peaceful revolt was turned in terms of violent activities, and finally it broke out in terms of civil war under the leadership of Vellupillai Prabhakaran, who started Tamil Tiger Force, and it was known later on in terms of LTTE, that is Liberation Tiger of Tamil Eelam. And a brutal fight took place between these Tamil Tigers and Sri Lankan government, and Sri Lanka had to lose a lot in this war. And finally it came to end in the later phase of 1980, and with that Sri Lanka once again came on the mainstream, but Sri Lanka had to lose a lot because of this war. Now we will discuss that how the Dutch people and Sri Lankan people had a kind of difference in their governance. So when we talk about Dutch people, they had a very well developed system of understanding the other communities, where they took care of other communities also. They did not take care only with just with one community. They took care with the other community also. They made a constitution in which it was prescribed that the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government, and it was just unlike the Sri Lankan system of governance, where importance was given only to the Singli people. In Belgium, some special laws require the support of majority members from each linguistic group. Thus, no single community can make decision unilaterally. Unilaterally means decision could not be taken on the basis of single wish. Both part recommendation was needed in it. And they made Brussels as a separate government in which both the Dutch and French speaking people had equal representation. And apart from that, the central and the state government had a third kind of government, that is community government, It is elected by people belonging to one language community, that is Dutch, French, and even they give the importance to German people. As I mentioned earlier, that German people had only 1% of the total population, but even then they were not ignored. And this is only the main secret of success, which is working behind the system of governance which can be seen in Belgium. They took care about that community also, who was just in 1%, unlike Sri Lankan people. Belgium model has worked well so far, which avoided civil war and gave a kind of civic strife between two major communities, and the country remained united. Brussels was chosen as the headquarter of the European Union from the very beginning. And this is enough to show that how much Belgium is advanced these days. Sri Lanka, what they did, as I mentioned earlier, that the government followed preferential policies that favored Singla applicants for university position and government job. A new constitution stipulated that the state shall protect and promote only Buddhism, and it was a big blow over the Tamilian. They didn't want only one religion to be emphasized and one religion to be humiliated. So all these government measures gradually increased the feeling of alienation among the Sri Lankan Tamil. They felt that none of the major political parties led by the Buddhist Singla leaders were sensitive to their languages and culture, and the relation between the Singla and Tamil community became strained over time. Later on, the Sri Lankan Tamil launched parties and struggles for the recognition of Tamil as an official language. They demanded regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in securing education and job, but their demand was repeatedly denied by the Singli community government. At the last moment, by the end of 1980s, several political organizations, as I mentioned earlier, children, that is LTTE, Liberation Tiger of Tamil Eelam, was formed, and which was demanding an education Tamil Eelam. Eelam means state. Eelam is known as a kind of Tamil word, which literal meaning in English language is state. Bear it in your mind, children. And in northern and eastern part of Sri Lanka, the conflict between the two communities soon turned in terms of a civil war. And for your better understanding, let me tell you that it was ended when India interfered in that war and sent her peace army to Sri Lanka. And with the help of that peace army only, the peace could be restored. But India had to pay a big price of sending this army. In terms of revenge, these Tamilian people killed our former Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, in a suicide bomb attack at Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. So what was the result of struggle of civil war? That civil war resulted in the killing of thousands of people of both the community, and this civil war also caused the terrible setback to the social, cultural and economic life of the country. Many families were forced to leave the country as refugees. Lots of people lost their livelihood also. So this was the drawback which could be seen in Sri Lanka. So you might have understand, children, if power is shared in a proper way, definitely it is very helpful for the development of the nation. But if power is not shared in a proper way, it always creates problem for and this problem can be of short term impact also, as well as in long term impact also. So children, with the help of this, we are going to end our first session. In next session, we will discuss about need of power sharing. Have a good day. Goodbye all of you.